to start up at the top. We are going to start with a team that has been taking the league by storm. Let's just be honest. They broke into our top 10 power rankings this week. I believe they're sitting at number 7. And that is the Washington Commanders. Raise hail is their hashtag. So, guys, we got to ask the question, buy or sell, are the Washington Commanders winning the NFC East? Right now, the Washington Commanders are currently sitting at 3-1, atop of the AFC East. The Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at 2-2, tied for second place, and rounding out in last place are the New York Football Giants, sitting at 1-3. When we look at the Commanders, they really only have one good win so far this season, and that was last week versus the Arizona Cardinals. They went into Arizona, to Phoenix, Arizona, and they waxed that ass 42-14. Let's just be honest. It was the most dominating win I think the Commanders have had in a very, very long time. Now they are 3-1. We get that, but when we look at their schedule, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football 38-33. Now on paper, that looks like a good win. If we go by name standards, that is a good win. But let's just be honest. The Bengals are a bad team at that particular point. The Bengals are not good right now at all. And the Commanders and Jaden Daniels had to go into Cincinnati and go toe for toe with them on Monday Night Football. Then we look at the win over the New York Football Giants. They settled for 7 field goals in that particular game. They ended up winning that game 21-18, and the only reason why they won that game was because the Giants did not have a kicker. The kicker got hurt early in the game, or maybe even pregame, but they didn't have a kicker on the roster that whole game. So no field goals, no PATs. Now don't get it twisted. I think Jaden Daniels is balling right now. He is playing really, really good football right now. He has just under 900 yards passing this season, which is ranked 12th in the NFL. He only has 1 interception, but also only has 3 touchdowns. When we look at the Commanders as a whole, the offense is ranked 6th right now. That's right, their offense is ranked 6th, but their defense is ranked 27th. So, guys, the question is, buy or sell, are the Commanders winning the East? And I got to sell this. I have to sell this because the simple fact is the East still has the Philadelphia Eagles in it. Whether they're broken, whether they're healing, whether they're not, they still have a lot of talent on that team. Speaking of injuries, the Eagles are riddled with injuries. AJ Brown's been out since week 1. Devontae Smith was out last week. Lane Johnson was out last week as well. The heart and soul of that offensive line. The Eagles are still a good team. If they get right, they win a couple games, everything is perfect in Philly. But let's not forget about the Dallas Cowboys as well. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys cannot run the ball at all. They're passing the ball 80% of the time. If they add Devontae Adams, like we're going to talk about later, they could easily win 12, 13 games for the rest of the season. The Cowboys could get hot. Much like the Vikings, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop for the Washington Commanders. They peaked out a little bit early. They got some good wins. They got the momentum. They are playing well, but it's still the Commanders. You still got a rookie quarterback. You still got who's your coach? Dang it, Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, offensive Falcons head coach. I want to say Dan Campbell was not Dan Campbell. Dan Quinn, right? They still got Dan Quinn as their head coach. He does shit the bed when the spotlights shine on him. So I gotta sell. So, guys, buy or sell, are the Commanders winning the East? James Frank says, I am buying. I believe my Browns win this week because, they're my Browns. When they win when they're not favored and always give us false hope. Still trying to remain positive as a Browns fan. But he says, I do believe they could be second to Philly. I think Philly takes it all. So actually, James, you are selling it. If you think Philly wins the division, you are with me, and you are selling it. You are selling it, because you do not think they're going to win the East. Laura says I'm buying. Laura thinks the Commanders are going to win the East. Okay, Laura. I mean, obviously they're playing good football right now. Sixth ranked offense in the NFL is pretty good. Pretty good. And they have over $28 million in cap space right now. They could go out and get Davante Adams right now if they wanted to be honest. Give him a first round pick. I don't care. Kevin says buy. It's been my hot take since before the draft. So Kevin's been on this Commanders train all off season. Once they drafted Jaden Daniels and they brought in Dan Quinn as their coach, brand new general manager, brought in a couple more pieces on the here, some old heads on that defense, right? Commanders has been on Kevin's radar. Okay, Kevin, I can get behind that. And Kevin says, guess who else has a bunch of talent on the roster? The Browns. But they shit the bed all the time. Kevin also says, not only does Dallas not have a run offense, they don't have a run defense either. That is true. But the Commanders like to pass the ball. Right now, the Commanders' Cam Akers is injured, right? So they only got Brian Robertson Jr. right now. If that two-headed monster does come back, then maybe. But I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. Derek says, I buy if they switch their names back. So Derek says he doesn't like the Commanders. Bring me back some Redskins. I don't hate it. James agreed. That should happen. And Kevin says, Philly isn't done imploding. Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. I think this bye week is going to be a telltale sign for the Eagles to come, right? If they come off the bye week, which is this week, and they come back and they dominate week 6, dominate week 7, all is cured in Philly. Now, if they come back week 6 and they lose, no matter if they play good or not, if they lose, heads have got to roll. So, guys, buy or sell. Are the Commanders winning the East?